If you are a leader in some way or the other, you are always wondering about the art of influence, how you can reach more people and lead with more impact. For introverts, this may seem a little bit challenging. However, there is a great question that you can ask anytime you're interacting with your team, clients, customers, is what else? What else gives you some indication on some things that you may be missing? Hi, my name is Alicia M. Morgan, and this is part 5 about the art of influence and how that really matters in an introvert's guide to leadership. You have to develop some great listening skills. And when you listen to understand with empathy to get to the point of compassion of how to help. So you have to enhance your natural listening skills and repeat back things that you hear or what you think you hear to clarify what's going on. And to project confidence, take great notes. And again, it's about getting to the heart of what's going on and not necessarily thinking about it's a transaction. You want to get to the destination of an outcome without fully understanding the impact and all the people that are involved. So you really have to focus on trust building. As we talked about in the series in part 1, in finding your voice, we talked about the 4 factors of trust. Those factors still matter. Remember, the factors of trust are humanity. We want to show that we're human and can understand the impact of what we're doing, being as transparent as possible, so transparency. We want to show that we are capable. Our human capital always lends itself in that way, or the human capital, the resources we're working with, and reliable. Not perfect, but reliable. Are you consistently delivering reliable results? So in the moments where things don't always go as planned, you have your history of what you've been doing to rely on. So there are a lot of things we have to talk about, and also genuine connections. So genuine connections is that you are fostering this building of relationships and getting to know someone, following through on some questions that you may have, and normalizing those interactions to be one that are not always transactional. You're getting to know someone, you're nurturing those long-term relationships. And then being as agile and flexible as possible. A big part of this active listening is also being an active observer. So going in and watching what things are going on and not immediately coming to a judgment to tell people what to do, but really understand the process of what they do so we can lead to great impact. And I always tell the story of when I worked in manufacturing. I am an aerospace and industrial engineer. So I worked in a manufacturing facility where they're producing circuit cards. I was the capital project manager. And so all the projects that came in, all the equipment and all the things necessary or software to make the factory more productive and engaging with the operators that are doing the work, we do all these several projects a year. So one of them was a factory rearrange project. So that involved me going on the shop floor, observing what the operators are doing to really move the circuit cards through the factory. Some of that was manual, and really observing to a point of understanding how we can enhance their work. That included having ergonomic workstations, really understanding the work instructions, the visual process of what's going on, the machines. Sometimes machines were subject to obsolescence because the computer systems weren't working in up-to-date technology. So we had to remove equipment. Finding times to remove the equipment without disruptions, all a part of that. So really being flexible and agile in the mindset. And remember that it's people first. So connecting with them where they are, looking at the as-is state to determine the steps toward getting to this ideal future state. So we don't want to completely disrupt things. We want to listen to them and figure out where we can help and where we can make improvements. And so then you are to empower the team. They want to know that their input that they are having is valued. And then we want to get to the point of innovation. And innovation takes a long time to sometimes see the impact. So you want to know what type of innovation that you're involved in. Is it front-end innovation so that where you are really understanding the interactions that's going on and the products and the user experience. So that user experience involves that engagement at all times to see what's really going on. And then the back end, the improvements in actual efficiency in the implementation. So we go through all these stages of innovation, that idea generation, and a part of that advocacy and screening in that stage of innovation is going to be that listening and seeing what's going on, getting engaged with the people that are doing the work and all the stakeholders. No stakeholder is too big. And you want to make sure that you can communicate in a technical and non-technical way. We have a tendency to say that I have all these technical skills, but can you engage with people to get to that innovation that you want? Then we experiment to see it works, and we commercialize it and bring it to market. And then we actually then get to that innovation. And then we have to understand the types of innovation that we're involved in, whether it's a product, process, business model, organizational, or marketing. And as an introverted leader, it doesn't mean that you're disengaged. It's about how you gather your energy and really understand where you are in making all this magic happen, the magical moments. I am a great listener and can connect the dots in a way, and then a driver as well. We can organize all these things and get to the execution. But that journey really starts with understanding people. I was having a conversation recently, and someone thought that, oh, you're technical, you have an engineering background. I thought our conversation would just be technical. And I said that a large part of what I do is involving in relationships. I spent the first part of my career in engineering, highly technical environments in aviation and defense. And then I transitioned into working into nonprofits. And a lot of the nonprofit CEOs and executive directors that I worked with and supported had backgrounds in human services. So from HR backgrounds to master's in public administration, and worked in healthcare organizations. And so thinking about that factor of trust and humanity, working with those leaders taught me really how to engage a little bit deeper and understand that question, what else, and how deep that actually goes into understanding what people are thinking and being as transparent as possible. So that journey has really taught me a lot. As we embrace innovation, it's all about flexibility, and we have some constraints sometimes, right? We may have regulatory organizations that we have to work with. In the case of aviation and defense, you have the FAA, you have TSA, and all the safety organizations, city governments, all those things that go into play. And you really have to understand all those sides to really get to the point of having high impact solutions. The Introvert's Guide to Leadership journey and creating these videos is about my journey. And I really am an introspective person, and people ask me all the time, how did you do all those things? I would think you had to be more outgoing or a certain way. But I learned how to ask these thoughtful questions and connect the dots in the way, and knowing that in every environment that I walk in, I have a sure set of transferable skills and problem solving and creativity and being an innovator. But the biggest asset is being able to dig deeper through that what else question to figure out what it will take to truly have this transformation occur. And transformation is about change and embracing change. People have to feel like they are part of the change. And you have to understand people's risk attitudes, where they're risk seeking and they're ready to go, the risk tolerant, they're okay, I'll go along, risk averse, risk neutral. You figure out all those things, and then you have to dig deeper to really understand communication styles. In some environments, there's direct communication. People will tell you exactly how they'll feel. And though it may be indirect, well, you have to ask more clarifying questions to go along. The point of all of this is to say there's no one size fits all to transformation. You have to do a lot of questions, ask a lot of questions. You have to do a lot of advocacy and screening and research to get that buy-in that you need. You have to experiment a lot, be willing to fail forward, and have a growth mindset. All these things come into play. This is a really great journey about influence. And one key takeaway before we leave this video, I would like to talk about understanding influence in a way that influence It's actually pull. You're pulling people in, you're engaging, you're getting buy-in instead of that push, which is transactional. You're just trying to make it happen, force it, tell people what to think, do, and lead with, hey, this is a great idea. We have the money or the resources to make it happen. So let's just make it happen. Because you want to be involved with people that they're engaged and they will tell you the blind spots that you have. So on this journey, like I said, I hope you watched the other videos. In part 1, we learned about finding your voice in the Introvert's Guide to Leadership. We also learned about my journey as from an engineer to an innovator in part 2 of the video. In part 3, we learned about stakeholder engagement. So if you want to go deeper on how to engage with diverse stakeholders and overcome resistance, that's what that video is all about. And this video, it's all about influence. So once you've gotten through all those which you think are barriers to entry as an introverted leader, how do you really maximize that influence and understanding the stages of innovation, understanding how to build those genuine connections, understanding how to be more transformational in your approach, build those genuine connections to absorb, deliver, and produce the results that you desire. All those things matter. So I hope you will continue to look at those other videos and stay tuned for the last installment, which will be part 5. I won't tell you exactly what that one is, but I'm excited about you joining me in this journey. And remember, influence may take a long time to establish, but it will take you much further in your leadership journey than just focusing on your human capital alone. Till next time, leave a comment, like, and share if you found something useful in this video. And until then, see you later.